Greetings, all you movie junkies and entertainment lovers, and welcome to another edition of Movie Junkies Media Talk. I'm your host, King Barnes. I'm once again joined by my co-host, Harvey Ed. How's it going today, Harv?
Hello there. Today we've got some really great news from this week that we would like to talk about and go into detail on. This week is actually quite exciting. Since you probably saw the thumbnail and the title of this video, we've there and the description. We've got some good news. We've got some good
Yes,
news today.
it's actually very exciting for folks like us who are kaiju fans, but we'll get into that
Yes.
into a little bit. So,
Mhm.
So for those of you who are new to Movie Junkies Media Talk, basically on this show, we basically just talk about all of the latest things in the world of movies, movie news, trailers, announcements, whatever. We talk about it. Anyway, so getting into our first topic today, which came out earlier in the week, was a little bit of a pleasant surprise, and that was we got a new trailer for Venom. Let There Be Carnage.
Yes.
Which first of all, I just want to say that I think I can speak for both of us here, Hav. But you can, if you want to, give kind of your own thoughts, feel free to. But I really, really, really loved that first Venom movie. I really, really digged it a lot. I know not everybody was as big of a fan as I was, but I think most people seem to at least enjoy it. At least it was liked. It wasn't a very disliked movie. It wasn't, and it was of course a massive box office success. Of course, you had a lot of course, it ended up making broke a bunch of records in the month of October, I believe. It made over $880 million worldwide. So it was a big success. And of course, right from the post-credit scene of the movie, we pretty much already knew that there was going to be another Venom movie. And we kind of already got an idea of what it was going to be. And of course, now we've had two trailers now. And this is I definitely preferred this trailer over the first trailer just because they showed us quite a bit more. And with this
Hmm.
trailer, they also kind of showed us kind of hint as to how Cassidy gets the symbiote,
Yes.
which is something that a lot of people were kind of you know speculating is how is he going to be getting, how is Cletus Cassidy, of course is Carnage, how is he actually going to become Carnage? And it looks like that he inhales some of Eddie's blood there was of course the scene where he bites him, and then a later scene where of course he's getting the toxin chemical whatever injected into him. It looks like it kind of creates this reaction and creates Carnage, and we really get to see Carnage wreck some fools.
I know,
We
right?
get to see Carnage, really in his full glory, and Carnage looks absolutely freaky, terrifying, perfect, honestly. And in addition to that, we also, of course, do have a lot of the lighthearted comedy. The banter between Eddie and Venom from the first movie is here. And
Yes. Really.
I especially like the part of the end where he's like, "I will let you eat everybody." And he's like, "Promise, promise." Oh yeah, that was personally my. So yeah, so I can't wait for this movie. This is definitely one of my personal most anticipated movies of the year. I mean, I was a little bit concerned about it because Andy Serkis, of course, is directing it. And don't get me wrong, Andy Serkis, love Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis is the man. He's great at what he does. But in terms of Andy Serkis as a director, I wasn't really, gotta be honest, wasn't really sold because he really only did I think two movies prior to this. One, I think, very low budget movie that I honestly don't even remember what it was called off the top of my head. And I think the other one was Mowgli, which of course was originally a Warner Bros. Film, but because it was so bad, it got dumped on Netflix. And I never saw that, but I never heard anything good about it. So because of that, I wasn't. Even though I love Andy Serkis, I was kind of like, ugh, I don't know if this is the right pick for this. But from the trailers,
mean,
it is really looking promising. It actually looks like he
yeah.
might have knocked it out the park. So, anyway, Hav, what did you think of the new trailer for Let There Be Carnage?
I really liked it. I thought there was like some really good shots in the trailer, like with Carnage going up from like the ceiling and like going
Mm-hmm.
charging towards the camera. Of course, the banter between uh, Eddie and Venom is still great, just like the first movie. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I like how in the trailer they, of course, they're like Venom's getting a little bit more annoyed at Eddie because he wants to go out and eat more criminals. And so
Yeah.
Eddie's trying to like control him, let him get control a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, in the trailer, that doesn't go well.
No. But I mean, how excited for this movie are you in terms of like excitement level? Are you super, because I know you really loved the first Venom movie. Are you super stoked for this one? Like, where's your excitement for the movie right now?
It's very high. It's very high on excitement. I think this is going to be a very fun ride. I think I just think it's going to be like a very great movie.
Mm-hmm. All right,
Yes.
great. So yeah, so if you guys have any thoughts on the Venom Let There Be Carnage trailer, for sure jump down into the comments section and let us know what you think. But we actually do have a comment from Golden Child, and Golden Child asks, "What did you think of the Cry Macho trailer?" Which is actually that was actually not one of our main topics, but because we normally like to keep things related to our main topics. But since I mean that trailer did come out recently, I believe. So I guess we could just quickly give our thoughts on it, Hav, if you want to do that quickly or not.
I mean, I don't. Have I watched the trailer for that? I don't think I have.
Oh, well, sorry. I saw it. It's of course the new Clint Eastwood movie. I think it looks fantastic. The new Clint Eastwood, acting directorial effort, which has been pretty consistently good, especially in the last couple of years. So I think it looks great. I think it looks great. But there you go. That's all that I would say about it for now. Maybe I'll talk about it more in the future when it comes out. But yeah. Anyway, so moving on to our next piece of news, Nicholas Holt will star in Universal's Renfield spinoff. Now we heard about this a little while ago. I think it was a couple months ago that they announced that this was happening. That they were going to be doing a spin-off based on Renfield, but we had no idea who was going to be in it. We had no idea who was going to be directing it or who's involved or anything. Well, apparently Nicholas Holt, who I think most of us would probably know as Beast from the X-Men movies, the later X-Men movies. And of course, he was also, of course, been in tons of other movies, War and Bodies, Mad Max Fury Road, that one movie which I'm forgetting the name of it, but it was about the author of Lord of the Rings, where he actually played the guy who was like the author of Lord of the Rings or whatever. I forgot what the name of that is off the top of my head, but yeah, so he's obviously really great, and actually. Fun fact, I don't know if you know this, Hop, but he actually apparently was in the running to play Batman in Matt Reeves' The Batman.
Really?
Yeah, it was down to him and Robert Pattinson, and apparently it was pretty close. It was
Okay,
from
fair.
what was, but
I can kind of see him playing Batman.
he's
In that.
a pretty versatile actor, and he's really made a name for himself. It should be made clear they have not confirmed. I'm pretty sure they have not confirmed that he is going to actually be Renfield. I think it's pretty safe to say he's going to be Renfield. What do you think?
Yeah.
I think I feel like we can pretty much say like with like 99% assurance that he will be Renfield. What do you think? Do you think that's fair?
I mean, he's got the look down to play the character. I think he could work. I think he could work great as the character. I
Mhm.
would be definitely happy if he was actually Renfield.
Yeah.
Which I feel like, yeah, it's pretty confident to say that he is going to be Renfield.
Mhm. So yeah, I mean, does that him now that they've announced that he is going to be Renfield though? Does that increase your excitement or interest in this movie, or is it still about the same as it was when you first heard about it?
Well, I guess my excitement level goes up because I do like him. I think he's a really good actor. So
Mhm.
I think he fits the role very well. So that this does get my excitement up. Not
Yeah.
by too much, but when we see a trailer, then we'll see how
Mhm.
it goes.
Yeah, and actually, in addition to them announcing that Nicholas Holt was going to be starring in the film, they actually did also announce who's going to be directing the movie, and the person who's directing the movie is Chris McKay. And Chris McKay recently directed that Chris Pratt. Oh, crass pit. Anyway, no, Chris. I don't know what that. Chris Pratt. The Chris Pratt movie that went straight to Amazon Prime, which was The Tomorrow War, which I believe also had J.K. Simmons in it. I have not watched that yet. I've
I
heard
think
mixed
I've heard
things.
of it. I think
Yeah, have you seen it? Huh?
I might have seen an advert pop up.
But you haven't actually watched it.
I think I've seen people reviewing on it.
hmm I mean, it did fairly well. It's going to be getting, I believe, a sequel. So yeah, so Chris McKay, of course, directed that, and he also directed the Lego Batman movie,
Oh, well,
which I know a lot of people like. I'm not a fan of the Lego Batman movie at
yeah.
all. Really, I really. But there you go. He's going to be he's going to do it. He's also actually was the editor of the Lego movie, the first Lego movie as well.
Ooh,
He was the editor on that. So, yeah. So Chris McKay is going to be directing it. I
I
mean,
mean,
maybe. Well,
I feel like this film will definitely not be in tone of the Lego films.
who knows? Maybe that's why they got him.
No,
You never
no.
know. Universal did recently acquire the distribution rights to like the Lego movie franchise. So so who knows? Maybe they were like, hey, well, you were involved with that. So no, I'm sure it's probably more based on the Tomorrow War. Would you say?
Yeah.
It's probably more based on that, I would suspect. So, maybe once I watch that movie, if I do get around to watching that movie, which probably will one of these days, then I will see uh if he's maybe good fit for it or not. But we'll see. So anyway, so that is of course the Renfield uh news. So moving on to our next topic today, which is this
Oh,
James
yes.
Gunn, who of course is coming hot off of the success of The Suicide Squad, which probably should have just been called Suicide Squad 2, but whatever. The
Mhm.
Suicide Squad. And of course, it's just Suicide Squad. It just came out. Everybody's talking about it. Most people seem to be really, really loving it. People, of course, already really love James Gunn from the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and of course he did a couple other movies before that, Super and Sliver, and he does a lot of movies with the letter S now, I guess. Anyway, so anyway, so of course he directed it. Now I would just quickly give my thoughts on the Suicide Squad very, very quickly, and then we'll move on here, and then I will let you do the same, Hoff. I actually gonna be honest. I think that it's a bit overrated. I was not in love with it as much as everybody else is, but this is coming from somebody who also was not as much in love with the Guardians of the Galaxy movies as everybody else was as well. So I'm not really that big into James Gunn's movies, but I have very much enjoyed all of his movies. So, and I did enjoy this new one, and I did actually think that it was a step up from the first movie overall. But there were just some parts of it, which I won't really go into detail here, that I took kind of issue with. But, I don't really want to get into spoilers because obviously it's early days here. I know a lot of people haven't really seen the movie with. But overall, it was a good movie, and it's doing very successful. Whether or not it's going to be a box office success like the first movie, we'll have to wait and see. It's got a lot riding against it right now to not be a box office success, but maybe it will be, especially considering that so many people have been enjoying it and liking it. But Hav, what did you if you would like to just quickly share your thoughts on the Suicide Squad, and then we could talk about what the news here.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I think the action was really good. The comedy, I mean, personally, it was a bit hit or miss sometimes for me, but I really enjoyed it. I'm kind of happy to see him come back for more of the DC, whether or not he's going to do more Suicide Squad or go and do more of the other DC stuff, like maybe Aquaman or Flash.
Well, I think Aquaman is probably James Wan's baby.
Maybe.
I doubt that they would let it. I would imagine it would have to be something we haven't gotten yet, if it's not going to be another Suicide Squad movie. Of course, we are getting the Peacemaker show for HBO Max. And he did actually write, I believe, that in the entire series, 8 or 9 or 10 episodes or whatever it is, and I believe he actually directed a whole bunch of the episodes as well. So that's that's something. But you enjoyed the Suicide Squad.
I enjoyed the Suicide Squad.
Good. So moving on, of course, it's not that surprising to hear that James Gunn is going to be back. To be honest, would you say, is this really a surprising?
It's not. Well, it's not really. I mean, I think he's quite like a popular. Like
he is. He is definitely definitely popular right now. Especially due to success. He's going to be directing the upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy 3. The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. So he's got quite a lot on his plate. And what's going to be really interesting to see if he's going to be going back and forth between Marvel and DC. Doing like whatever, like Marvel movies 1 minute and then doing like DC movies the next. Because we haven't really seen that before. I mean, I guess you could say Bryan Singer technically did it. He did the first 2 X-Men movies, then he did Superman Returns, and then he returned to X-Men. But he didn't really, it wasn't like, back and forth. Like, we've never seen that before, ever, in the history. So it is kind of crazy for a big director like a James Gunn to be able to do that, because it really goes to show that it's kind of changing times right now, whereas and actually what's kind of crazy, Hav, is that apparently Kevin Feige visited the set of the Suicide Squad.
Really?
Yeah, apparently. So so there was definitely it seems like we are now in this new era where things with Marvel and DC, there isn't really a rivalry anymore. It seems like people are just kind of ready to just see some good, entertaining, fun movies with some fun, entertaining characters, and I'm happy about that. But in terms of so I'm not surprised about this news. Obviously, it's going to be interesting to see what these projects are going to be. Now, of course, World Hamada did already say that they have things planned. Whether or not it's going to be a third Suicide Squad movie, I myself personally, I feel like I'm not really interested in another Suicide Squad movie right now. I actually would like to see him tackle something else. I know, of course, not everybody will feel that way, but what do you think, Hav? Do you think that whatever this project is, whether it be like a series or a movie, I imagine it would probably be another movie, but it might be another show, who knows? What do you think it would be? Something else, or other than Suicide Squad? Or do you think it would be another Suicide Squad movie, or some kind of like a direct spin-off of the Suicide Squad?
I feel like he might go on to do like maybe another DC property.
Well, that's what we're talking about. That's the whole topic that we're talking about right now. Is
Well,
that
not like I don't think he might stay with Suicide Squad.
I got you. Yeah. When you say you meant like another something else that is DC related.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. I got you. Okay, continue.
Yeah, I mean, on the one hand, yes, like, I felt like James Gunn directing the Suicide Squad movie, it definitely fits for him, especially with comparing like Guardians of the Galaxy. So I think if he were to do more Suicide Squad, I would still be fine. But I feel like they might bring him on to do some other for DC related like characters, either like bring in a new characters, or just maybe like use like the existing characters of what we have right now. Maybe like Batman, like Batman or Superman.
So you think he's going to do a movie with some characters that we've already seen in the recent movies, DC movies? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe.
So is that not what you're saying?
I think he might. I think he might most likely just maybe do characters that are basically getting introduced into like maybe the DCU.
So you're saying characters that we have not seen in the movies before.
Okay.
Is that what you're saying? I'm just asking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely be up for that. I've been hearing from a couple of different people that saying that they would like because of James Gunn's horror roots. A lot of people said that they would love to see like maybe a Swamp Thing movie from James Gunn or something like that, which might be interesting. In terms of like what I would like to see James Gunn tackle, I mean, I feel like considering the only movies I haven't seen any of like James Gunn's earlier works, and I've only seen the Guardians of the Galaxy movies and the new Suicide Squad film. To me, that just going off of like just that based on like those movies alone, I would probably want to see him do maybe something that was a little bit more comedy-esque, something that was just a little bit more, tongue-in-cheek, silly, like a Plastic Man movie or a Booster Gold movie, maybe, or something. Or maybe he would be a good fit for a Lobo movie. I know they've been talking about doing a Lobo movie for a long time. And last we heard Michael Bay was supposed to direct a Lobo movie. Whether or not that's still happening, we'll have to wait and see. But I
was gonna say Michael Bay weirdly fits the Lobo.
It does. If they said we're doing a Lobo movie with Michael Bay, I'd be like, yeah, okay, sure, why not?
Yeah.
But
it fits with like the chaoticness of like Lobo.
But I will be honest, if somebody said, if Warner Brothers came to me and said, who should we get to do a Lobo movie, James Gunn or Michael Bay? I think I would say James Gunn. Because I think especially after watching the Suicide Squad, I think James Gunn would be a good fit for Lobo, yeah. So anyway, that's our thoughts on that. So let's move on to our final topic today, and I'm losing where all the banners and stuff are. Okay, yeah, here we go. Ba-boom! What you been waiting for? And yeah, so Max Borenstein, who is the writer for Godzilla vs. Kong. Actually, I think he's a writer. He's been a writer on all of the MonsterVerse movies. Now that I think about it, I think he was.
Oh, really?
He's pretty much. Yeah, he's pretty much been involved with all of them. He's kind of, I guess, been, you know, the main guy in a way. He might. I don't know if he was a writer on the Gareth Edwards film.
Oh, what, Godzilla? Just like the first.
I'm sure he probably was, but anyway. So he recently said in an interview that that the MonsterVerse, he pretty much just outright said that, like, the MonsterVerse is continuing. That we've got more stuff planned. It's gonna continue on, which is great news, because we have kind of, us MonsterVerse fans, we've kind of been in the dark. We've been kind of like, well, you know, I mean, it's like Godzilla vs. Kong. A lot of people liked it, but it wasn't like the biggest box office success in the world. But it's also like COVID-19. It's like, are we continuing this thing? Are we not continuing this thing? But yeah, apparently we are continuing this thing. So Harv, I mean, first of all, for me, this was kind of a big relief. But what about you? Did you just kind of, what do you think about this? Is this a big relief for you, or?
Yeah, it is a big relief.
Mm-hmm.
Just to like see that, just to see some more like MonsterVerse and just kaiju stuff in general, after all of what's recently happening in this pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like a breath of fresh air that you haven't had for a while.
Yeah, it was. And we just got comments from David Brown, who writes, what Toho kaiju do you want to see in the MonsterVerse or Toho's world of Godzilla?
Anguirus.
Anguirus? You're a big Anguirus fan. You love yourself Anguirus. Yeah, I would definitely like to see. David Brown just subscribed. Thank you so much for subscribing, man. That's really great. I would love to see Anguirus. Don't laugh. I would like to see Titanosaurus. Don't laugh. I know it's not the popular. I know. No. I you know, sue me. I like Titanosaurus. Okay, whatever. I know he has an annoying roar, but I just. Yeah, I know he has an annoying roar, but whatever. Anyway, so yeah, but David Brown also writes, do you think Gamera has a shot at another movie at some point? I mean, it's kind of hard to tell. Obviously, I would hope so.
Yeah, same.
By the way, we did a big, for those of you who watch, we did a whole review series on all 12 of the Gamera films, and we also did a ranking video where we ranked all of them from best to worst. So if any of you guys haven't checked it out, there's a playlist on my channel. You can go do that. Check that out. It's we've, you know, put a lot of effort into those videos, and it took a long time to do them. But yeah, so I am definitely would be very hopeful that we would get another Gamera movie. But I don't know. It's kind of hard to know what's going on with Gamera right now. I don't even know if, like, Legendary, like, I heard there was kind of like some rumors, people saying, oh, they have the rights and stuff, but I mean, I don't know for sure. Yeah. I mean, now that we pretty much know that the MonsterVerse is going to continue, the big question is, what is it going to be? What's it going to be? What's the first thing going to be?
I mean, it wasn't that long ago, but we did do a video on the MonsterVerse and what will be happening.
We did, yeah, we did where we speculated a little bit about, you know, if it was gonna, you know, if what was gonna be, you know, most likely, what was not gonna be most likely. I thought that the most likely one myself. I don't remember if you agree with me on this or not, but I thought the most likely one was the Adam Wingard Kong one in the Hollow Earth.
Yes.
Especially after like the ending of Godzilla vs. Kong, that seemed like pretty much the most logical choice, which I would be very happy with. I'd be very, very happy with that. And David Brown writes in, says, what did you think of Godzilla's Singular Point? We have not talked about Singular Point yet.
I haven't watched Singular Point, but I should. I keep on forgetting. What I've seen so far with like the trailers and the design and the look overall, I mean, it's kind of going over like sort of like an anime version of maybe this Showa era.
It does seem to be Showa inspired, yeah. From what I saw, yeah. So you haven't actually watched it. You haven't actually watched any of it. I've watched I think like the first 2 episodes, maybe like first 2.5 episodes. And I will say this. The animation is gorgeous. It's just this beautiful animation. Love it. Beautiful looking show. But I'm not gonna lie, it was tearing at my patience quite a bit because it's not your typical show. Your typical. It's very based on the human characters and stuff. It's at least in the beginning. Obviously, I haven't seen like later stuff. I mean, I know I've been hearing a lot of mixed reactions on it. I've heard some fans, they're really digging it. Other fans really not digging it. I mean, so I don't know. I might give it more a second chance. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just I'm not sure. I wasn't digging it from what I watched of it. I gotta be honest. Haven't had much luck with the Godzilla anime stuff because I wasn't a big fan of the anime trilogy that we got from a few years ago. Do you remember those ones, Hav? The movies?
I liked the first one, and the second one was good. Third one was bad, and
again, people were really mixed on those as well. I really digged the first one. I thought the first one was really, really solid setup and everything. I really liked the twist at the end and everything, but I really felt like it fell apart with the second one, and then especially with the third one. I didn't like how they did Mechagodzilla, and I didn't like how they did Ghidorah. But people dig those anyway. Like, they don't care that it's not the traditional thing, which is fine. David Brown says, as flawed as Singular Point is, it's way better than the anime trilogy. I've heard that from a lot of people, actually, that they, even though they're not like, they don't think Singular Point is like an amazing show or anything. A lot of people are like, well, at least it's better than the anime trilogy.
I feel like you can, like, a lot of things can be better than the anime trilogy of Godzilla.
Yeah. I feel
personally,
hopefully the third anime Godzilla, whatever that may be, will be amazing. They're slowly. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, it's again Singular Point. I would recommend checking out Singular Point, though. Huh? I would recommend giving it a chance. I'm thinking about maybe trying to get back into it. My main problem is that it's when you watch it, it just doesn't feel like Godzilla, at least not yet. I know I'm sure as it goes along, it introduces like more of like, monsters and stuff in it. And, but I don't know. I mean, going back to the MonsterVerse for a second, the thing that I would really love is for them to be able to successfully build up towards some kind of like a 2-part Destroy All Monsters movie.
Yes.
But the reality of that happening is very... Yeah, it's not, because unfortunately, unlike Marvel and DC and Star Wars, the audience, and not a lot, and there's a lot of hardcore, MonsterVerse and Kaiju and Godzilla fans that don't want to admit this, but the reality is that the audience for these movies and for this genre is very slim. There's not that many of us out there, but I do feel like we're growing though. I feel like there's more and more people are getting into this stuff, so I feel like I'm hopeful. The box office numbers of the last two movies are, damper my hope a little bit, but yeah. And David Brown also says, "Did you read Godzilla Dominion and Kingdom Kong? If you have, which is your favorite?" Those were the two. If you don't remember, Hob, those I believe were the two prequel comics that they did for Godzilla versus Kong. I unfortunately have only ever read the prequel comic for 2014, which was Godzilla Awakening, and I never, unfortunately, I never still have not read any of the prequel comics for any of the other movies, so I really need to get caught up on that. I know you've read a bunch of like the Godzilla comics, half like the Rulers of Earth, I believe.
I read all of the Rules of Earth. I really enjoyed that. I thought it was great.
Yeah. Isn't Gino in Rulers of Earth?
Yes, he is.
Which is Zilla? Yeah. Yeah. I know. Derek Brown says, "And what comics do you want to see in the multiverse? What comics do you want to see in the multiverse?"
What, like?
I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that. What comics you want to see? I'm assuming maybe you're just talking about like what things that were in the comic books only that we would like to see on the screen. I'm assuming that's what he would means by that. Because I know that I know a little bit about the prequel comic for King of the Monsters. Do you remember what the name of that one was, Hav?
What, the King of the Monsters one?
Yeah, I think it was Aftershock. I think.
Actually,
or something shock, but I believe that was that went to kind of like the origins of like the Mutos and stuff, and where like the Mutos came from, and I believe that there was Muto Prime, I think it was called, and that was how they were basically like taking out the Godzilla. I mean, the MonsterVerse it really is like frustrating because it's like it's so rich with that they've really, especially now that they've opened up the Hollow Earth, there's just so much possibilities for future prequels and comic books and series, and where's Agents of Monarch, damn it. I'm surprised we haven't got that yet, but I mean, if they would ever do something like that, like a Monarch show, I would hope that it would be highly influenced by Godzilla the series, which I really like a lot.
Yeah, we also got it right. It is called Godzilla Aftershock.
Oh right, yeah, Aftershock. I think. Yeah, I don't remember what the Skull Island one was called. I think it was just like
Is it
something like the Birth of Kong, I think.
I mean, I guess that would make sense.
Something like that, yeah. And that one was, I believe, I think that one was actually part prequel, part sequel. I think. I'm not sure. I think like part of it was like showing like the origins stuff. And part of it was kind of after the events of Skull Island and like modern day, I believe. I don't know if you're aware of anything.
No, I haven't read them.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't sure if you had heard about them or not. And David Brown says that he hopes that the Skull Island animated series on Netflix is amazing. I'm very cautiously optimistically waiting for that. Because I mean, I really hope that is good. I want it to be absolutely amazing. That one, the Skull Island prequel series that's coming to, or no, the Skull. Well, actually, we don't really know what it's going to be. The Skull Island series for Netflix.
It's just going to take place in Skull Island.
It could. There's a couple different points it could take place in. I mean, I doubt it's going to be modern day. I believe it is going to be some kind of a prequel. David Brown says that Skull Island Birth of Kong is part sequel, part prequel. So yeah, I wasn't sure if I was like getting that like mixed up or not. But yeah, what do you, now that we know the MonsterVerse is like going to continue, if you could like have your will and just to be the, you know, deciding factor and just be the one who decides what happens next, where we go, what it leads into, what other kaijus, you know, you can bring in like whatever kaijus you want, you know, from Toho, whatever, Gigan in there, you know, Space Godzilla, you know, Minya. Why?
No.
Why not? No Minya. Okay.
Maybe the son of Godzilla, but not have him called Minya.
No. I mean, yeah.
Honestly,
But what would you, seriously though? What would you like? I'm like to see. I'm kind of curious.
I mean, my favorite Godzilla film was Godzilla versus Destroyer. And why?
I got like the dopiest picture of me possibly. Tell me you do not want to see this face.
No, I don't.
Tell me you do not want to see this face.
In full CGI, 4K.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's probably not gonna happen. I mean, there was they were talking about, they were saying something about oh gosh, something about there was a rumor coming out that the Adam Wingard Kong film was actually going to be called Son of Kong. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
I believe we talked about that before.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, you're not a big fan of that rumor going around, are you?
And I agree with David Brown. Godzilla would step on Minya if he saw him looking like that. I think anyone would.
So I heard some people thought that Titanus Doug, which was like that weird frog thing that made an appearance. Do you remember that?
Titanus Doug? What?
You don't know? They named him Doug. His official name is Doug. Titanus Doug. The one that like he briefly appeared in like the Hollow Earth.
Oh, what, that small?
Yeah. People thought that was Baby Godzilla. Some people thought, but I'm pretty sure it's not.
Oh.
Let me bring up Titanus Doug for a second. I believe I mean, it might have been, you know, a bit of a joke, but I believe Titanus Doug is his real name, if I'm honest. Hang on, let's bring up Titanus Doug here. Good old Doug. Let's get him up.
Great friends.
Oh, hang on. We're gonna bring up Doug.
We're bringing up Doug.
Kevin. Who is Kevin again? Wasn't that one of the Ghidorah heads? Was named Kevin? That was like the dopey one. Yeah.
We need just a movie of just like Kevin.
Yeah. We need the Doug HBO Max show. That's what we need. We need to find. It's very important that we find out what the origins of Doug are and where he came from.
David Brown says it's left Ghidorah head. So
is that the dopey one? I can't remember what order the heads were, but yeah. But I mean, speaking of you know, MonsterVerse, I mean, in terms of like, who would you like to see be involved with, you know, in terms of like directors directing future installments, both ones who we've had before and ones who you would like to bring on?
I mean, we've always kind of joked that Steven Spielberg was going to be
Oh my god!
directing Destroy All Monsters.
Can you imagine?
I know, right?
Oh, yeah, that would be something. That would be something.
That would be too much. Our heads will explode.
Yeah, Brown said, I wonder what Barb Playmira from King of the Monsters is up to these days. Probably
is that actually her name? Barb?
I guess so.
I love this fandom already. I love how they're naming the monsters.
Yeah, some of the Titans just have regular names, you know. In terms of, so you're saying Steven Spielberg, Destroy Monsters.
Yes.
Okay. I would love to see Michael Dougherty come back, and I would love to see him do a Rodan solo film.
Yeah.
Especially after like how much he was talking about how much he loved the original movie and stuff, and how in his mind how he came up with the idea that the one in the MonsterVerse that comes out the volcano and everything was like the idea that it was one of the eggs that was laid by the two Rodans in the original. I thought that was kind of fun. So I would love to see him do a prequel Rodan movie where we actually see like that happen, which would be awesome. I know he also talked about doing like some kind of movie about like the civilization that we also saw in King of the Monsters. And you seem to be, correct me if I'm wrong, Hav, but you seem to be really into that.
Yeah. I thought that would be very interesting to go into that. Yeah, do some good old world building.
Yeah.
Because I guess it would be very interesting to see just to see that and what it's like.
Yeah, I'd be interested like if they would like be speaking characters. I assume they would be speaking characters, I think a lot of people are into it just because it would assumably be more about like the monsters and the Titans and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now we did see I just remembered we did see what was appeared to be the remains of Anguirus.
Right.
So if they did that could be a way to bring Anguirus in, even though I know you bummed out that basically means he's dead. But
well, I mean, there might just be one of them.
Yep, maybe there's another Anguirus. Yeah, maybe there's both. Again, if there's one Titan that we need, Titanosaurus.
No.
Come on.
No,
it's in the name, Titanosaurus. Right? No. Titanus Gojira, Titanus Mosura, Titanosaurus. it's like he was like the first,
No, we're not gonna.
You want to hear that cackle one more time.
No, I want to keep my ears and have them not bleed.
No, seriously though, I'm not joking. I actually do want to see Titanosaurus. That's the. I do. I love Terror of Godzilla. That's one of my favorite of the Showa era movies.
I mean, it is quite a film.
Yeah,
it is quite a film.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, any other like thoughts on where you want to see like the MonsterVerse go now that that it's going to continue, or anything? Or who you would like to see pop up? Any kaijus? Any directors?
Kaiju one is obvious, but
I know, but any other ones? I mean,
I would love. Apparently, David Brown would also apparently, for some reason, like to see Titanosaurus.
Yes. You see, David knows what's up.
All right, all right, all right.
Hashtag bring back Titanosaurus.
But if I look up the chat, he said David Brown said bring back Anguirus. So clearly,
well, we can have both. You know, I'll tell you what. I mean, look, let's get serious now. Let's get serious. Jet Jaguar.
I mean, it would be the dumbest yet coolest thing ever.
No, but seriously though, they give Jet Jaguar a complete redo, a complete makeover, the way they did Gigan in Final Wars, and actually make Jet Jaguar cool. Think about it.
They could do it.
I know when I said it.
They could do that with Gigan in Final Wars. Then they can do it.
I'm still kind of bummed because I remember that concept art came out a while ago that showed a Gigan looking thing. Do you remember that?
I think
in the background. I have to bring that up. But yeah. I mean, yeah, David Brown says, I mean, like, yeah, they gave us Mechagodzilla. So it's not like there's some kind of boundary in terms of tangibility here that they're going to be crossing. They pretty much have been, with each movie, getting more and more science fiction and more, you know, non-reality with each passing movie. So it's like, yeah, give us Jet Jaguar. You know, hey, maybe they could make Minya cool, huh?
He also said, heck, bring Paragon for good measure, which I would actually like to see.
Yeah, Baragon doesn't get a lot of love, does he? Baragon, he's kind of always been. Yeah, I would like to see Baragon. There's really aren't any. I try to think of like kaiju's, like Toho ones that I would like to see. Not, I mean, probably Minya. You know what I mean? Probably wouldn't want to see Minya. But I mean, that's never going to happen. They might do something as like a fun reference or joke or something, but they won't actually. Come on.
Maybe like just some kid just goes, someday Godzilla tells me
yeah.
to fight my own brothers.
Let's talk about Space Godzilla for a second, because do you remember there was that artwork from like the set, which had the mural on the wall and had some kind of you know, a Godzilla and a Kong fighting like a flying creature. Do you remember that?
Say that again.
Do you remember there was like that set photo that came out of something that was like cut from the movie? It was like, well, it wasn't a set photo. It was like a miniature or something, which was, it was going to be for like a scene where there was going to be like a mural on the wall and like the Hollow Earth, where it showed like, you know, the Godzillas and the Godzillas and the Kongs fighting some kind of a flying creature. Do you remember that? And a lot of people thought that was Space Godzilla.
Maybe.
So I don't know if they're, you know, it might have been Space Godzilla, it might have been Gigan, it might have been, you know, who knows? But of course, I know it didn't actually end up in the final movie. I know a lot of things got cut from the final movie. I still think my main complaint with Godzilla vs. Kong is that it was too short, to be honest. It needed to be 2 hours. Yeah. What do you think? It was almost 2 hours, but I feel like there was a little bit I just would have liked a little bit of more exposition, you know.
He also, David Brown said, I won't be surprised if Varen and Manda get a shot at showing up. I would like that. I would like that.
Yeah, Varen and Manda, two slightly more obscure ones that I would like to see. Oh, and he says that it was in the art book. I'm guessing that he's talking about the Space Godzilla thing. Yeah, I might have to see if I can find a picture of that. You did see that, right, Huff?
I think I have. Might have been a while ago.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I might have to see if I can
Gain
try
image
and
of.
look for it. But yeah. So I mean, I am very very happy that they're saying that's going to continue. I mean, we knew it was going to continue anyway because they announced that the Skull Island show was happening. So we knew it was going to always continue in either comic books or if there was going to be anime series or whatever. But to hear that they are going to be doing like live action, like movie stuff, which wouldn't it suck if like in a week Max Borenstein came out and he said like, oh, that was just a joke. We're not actually doing anything. Wouldn't that suck?
Yeah, that would just like, oh.
Oh yeah, a lot of people want to see War of the Gargantuas again. You know, I have actually never seen War of the Gargantuas. Have you, Hope?
I don't think I have.
I mean, obviously, I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I've never seen the full movie. But that would be another one that I would love to. But speaking of MonsterVerse, like I would like to see a lot of like the original MonsterVerse Titans come back as well. The ones that we saw very briefly in King of the Monsters. I would like to see some of those guys come back.
What, from King of the Monsters?
Yeah.
Well, like some of the original.
Yeah, that's what. Because I was a little bit bummed out that we didn't really see any of them pop up in.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna see some. Well, we did see some more original monsters.
Oh yeah, like in the Hollow Earth and stuff. Yeah.
But I was surprised that we didn't get any like pre-existing Titans that we saw in like King of the Monsters, or even any Toho monsters. Which, yeah, it just kind of annoyed me because I felt like, what was his name, Doug. I thought he could have been like Anguirus, maybe, or just like.
If Doug turned out to be Anguirus, you would not be happy. Come on.
Yeah, but at least we got something.
You really want Anguirus, don't you?
Yes. He is best kaiju.
But he's dead.
Well, one of them is dead.
Maybe there were two. No. But yeah, so I would like to see some of those come back. I would be curious. Do you think that they would ever do like any like original I don't know, like solo movies based on some of those? Or do you think like for a smaller budget maybe?
Maybe. Maybe like some monsters that get like popped up in the maybe like the King Kong Hollow Earth thing. Maybe introducing some of the kaiju then.
That could be. I do think, yeah, obviously, I mean, I want a Hollow Earth video game. That's what I want.
Oh yeah.
Like a free roaming Hollow Earth video game. That's what I would love to do. That just explore the Hollow Earth.
Yeah, I think that would be very successful.
Ooh, yes, an 8-headed dragon.
Wait, what?
Oh, it's just I was just reacting to what David Brown was saying in the chat. I'm just gonna see if I can bring up.
I might have seen that before. What David Brown said.
Yeah, it hasn't popped up in any of like the movies or anything yet, though. No, I believe it's
8-headed dragon.
Wasn't that I'm sure it wasn't the same one, but wasn't that like something that was like a multiple-headed dragon in like the Rebirth of Mothra movies or something? I never saw those, so I don't know, but I think that might have been. I'm not sure.
But since Godzilla put them all of them to sleep, maybe we'll see them again in a future movie.
Yeah, I hope we get more lots and lots of future movies. I mean, I feel like we're kind of on the same wavelength here, that we want to see. We want to see some kind of like a Destroy All Monsters event, Avengers Endgame MonsterVerse style thing. We want to build towards something. I mean, are we in agreement with that? Would you say?
Yes. I mean,
so with that being the case, who would be the big bad?
Who would be the big bad? Big bad? I feel like it would be cool if it was a Toho monster, like very popular. Toho monster.
Dave Brown, Def Ghidorah. That's what's in the Rebirth of Mothra, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
I mean, maybe get Ghidorah back, considering he was the original big bad in the.
Hell, give us Mecha Ghidorah, but like Mecha Ghidorah. I mean, they definitely took a lot of Heisei inspiration for Godzilla vs. Kong. Now that I think about it, with like the skull head and everything. For me, it would have to be. I would love to see Destroyer make a comeback.
Yeah, I would also,
because, and for two reasons. Of course, one, Destroyer is the only other monster that we've ever really seen Godzilla really lose to. Like, Godzilla never actually really ever beat Destroyer in the Godzilla vs. Destroyer film. So for me, to me, Destroyer is like peak, in terms of like the threat that you could have Godzilla go up against.
Yeah, plus like he's.
But that's just me. I know not everybody feels that way.
Yeah.
But the second reason is that they basically set it up with King of the Monsters with the Oxygen Destroyer.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Did. It's there.
Yeah.
But David Brown says the novelization for King of the Monsters already confirmed that Ghidorah has an older sibling. Really, I did not hear about this. So we probably already got our big bad. Interesting. I'm surprised I never heard that from anybody else before.
Yeah, same
An older sibling. Ooh. So a bigger, maybe just like a whole army of Ghidorahs just comes in.
I think that would be enough.
Yeah. But imagine that. I know we're probably not going to get it, even though we're getting more MonsterVerse stuff, because I know it's, this franchise just isn't that popular enough. But imagine it, Hoff. You've got, you're all of like the Titans, big battle sequence, them all running towards like an army of Ghidorahs or something. Mm-hmm. I mean, come on. Who does not want this? Well, people who don't care about MonsterVerse, they don't care. They don't want it. Yeah, I mean, can you think of any other like previous kaiju that you would want to just see show up in general, in like in terms of like?
Love to see Gigan pop up.
I would love to see Gigan pop up too. And I'd love to see Gamera pop up. What, no?
I mean, for us, of course, we would want Gamera to pop up.
Can you imagine that, though?
or Gamma popping up and having like
because then we would have Gamera, Godzilla, and King Kong all in the same universe. I mean, at that point, it's like the only thing that's left is like Ultraman, and then they could do like an Ultraman. Yeah. Yes, Gigan and Megalon. Bring in Gigan and Megalon and do like a remake of Godzilla versus Megalon. Have like Jet Jaguar in there and stuff, and have them do like yeah. Well, hopefully we will at least get to see some of that stuff in the future.
hopefully.
You
can make like a whole like list of just kaiju that we just want to see. Like just a big list.
Yeah.
I mean that's what's just exciting for MonsterVerse, because there's like so much you have like on like the plate of like Toho monsters.
Exactly.
And like there's monsters that you have that you brought in that you can use as well. It's just like it can make a perfect meal.
Yes. I didn't even think about that. Zone Fighter. Of course. Because of course Zone Fighter, that was what was crossed over with Godzilla. That was like, oh man. So many possibilities they have. They really do have so many possibilities for more you know,
just kaiju stuff, just monster
pretty much. But yeah, yeah, I really hope that we will get some more installments soon in terms of movies. I do hope that hopefully that the franchise will continue to grow. I hope that somehow more people will start to, get into these movies and understand these movies and stuff. Because I think, because I mean, my personal favorite of the MonsterVerse films that we've gone so far is easily still King of the Monsters for me. I don't know about you, Hov.
Yes, same. I mean,
it's the same.
Great.
I mean, it really is just when you really watch it, it really is a modern day Showa era Godzilla film. I love it.
Like, it's like among the top 5 Godzilla films for me. It's just that.
Yeah, I mean, I probably might be the same for me too. It was kind of just a big love letter to Godzilla, honestly. So I kind of loved it for that. But yeah, so I definitely hope that we're gonna see some more things too. Yep, David Brown agrees. King of Monsters is awesome, best American Godzilla movie ever. Well, we know where we are. We know the deal. Now, of course, not everybody. I know people kind of trash on King of the Monsters. Mm-hmm. I would never understand why, but that's whatever. But yeah, in terms of like Harv, I'll ask you just as one last question, before we go, which was in terms of like the previous 4 directors that we've had.
Mm-hmm.
Out of those directors, who would you like to see get another installment? And that's a tough question, because I honestly would like to see them all get a chance at doing another movie. But if you can only have one, who would you pick? Who did you say?
Michael Dougherty.
Michael Dougherty.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if it would be like a like what he said he wanted to do, or like a Rodan prequel movie. I'm definitely up for Adam Wingard coming back, especially if they're going to do a Hollow Earth. Kong is exploring the Hollow Earth, and I just absolutely loved the design of the Hollow Earth and the way it looked and everything.
Yes.
So I want to see more. I want to explore this universe. I want to see more of it. I don't want to say goodbye to it. So, I do hope that 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 we do continue to get more results. But yeah, so I think that will pretty much do it for today for this installment of Movie Junkies Media Talk.
I like how like we went like 20 minutes into like the other freak news, and then we just like went like almost like an entire hour.
Well, but yeah, I mean we are by nature just huge kaiju fans, and we love the MonsterVerse. So of course we get a little bit carried away, especially when now we've had David here to talk about this stuff as well. So yeah, thank you for subscribing as well, David, to the channel. It really is that really means a lot. And we will of course be coming back again same time next Sunday. Whether or not we'll be talking about more MonsterVerse stuff or whatever, we'll just have to see what the news and stuff is. If not, maybe we'll do we could just do we're definitely going to be doing more kaiju and MonsterVerse related stuff in the future, David. So I just wanted to let you know that. And by the way, again, to David and anybody else, sure to if you love your kaiju, go check out our Gamma review series on the channel. Link to the playlist is, I believe, it's on the main page. So. And of course, be sure to subscribe to Harvey Ed's channel. Link in the description down below.
I recommend you do that.
Yeah, and so till next time, consume as much entertainment as humanly possible, and we will see you in the next video.